use your God power to get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin.
This is a recording excerpt from a God Power coaching session, phone call. Topics covered in this call include meaning, placebos, feelings, and faith. Throughout the call, references are made to the God Power course videos and information. The links to these references are located in the notes section, as well as on the video information panel. The CD for this video and the track titles PDF, with active reference links, are available for free download. See the download links in the notes section of this video. This video is designed for ease of use, and features CD track buttons below. At any time, you can click on the CD track buttons to jump ahead, go back, or listen to the same track again. Let your quest for knowing continue.
And I have another question for you.
Yeah.
I think kind of debating how to get myself into a belief state or the knowing state.
Your knowing is really going to come from having the experience of having things actually change.
Right.
Give the meaning, a different meaning to something, and then you look back and say, you know, it really did work out.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you
So
have
you have
some
to...
experiences like that, and then pretty soon you have a lot more confidence in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The heart of it is this.
Yeah.
When you got a situation that occurs, whatever it may be, you're running late, you broke something, or you have to move, or, you know, whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
In that moment, if you're thinking it's gone wrong, then you can only think, let's think of an imaginary situation, like let's say somebody's in foreclosure, right?
Okay.
And let's say that we're going to stand on the place, we're going to have the point of view that this has gone wrong. Can you name 3 things that have gone wrong with a situation like that?
They won't have no place to live.
Okay, that's one.
They will have to look for another place.
Yep, okay, 2.
Yeah, and they lost the initial investment.
Okay, now, did you notice that when you were looking at the problems from this place, that all you could see was problems?
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
Right. Yeah.
So let's look at that same set of facts, foreclosure, right? And let's name 3 benefits.
Benefits, okay.
If I were to say, hey, it's working out, what could be the working out?
To find a better place, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you find a better place, right?
Okay.
Maybe now you can move to the state or town or country or whatever that you really have been wanting to live anyway, right?
Right, right.
You get a fresh start and a new beginning. This could be very exciting, right?
How long do you have to keep that thought in your mind for this to become a belief or something that will be recorded?
The thing is it just happens for you automatically. So let's picture a situation that's gone bad. Let's say there was a fender bender accident, right?
Okay.
Not serious, but just a fender bender. Now, this is what you could say. Because you see, you don't have to have knowing to get started. So you say, hey, you know, I'm supposed to say that this is working out. And clearly looking at this, it doesn't look like it's working out, right? But I'm supposed to say it's working out. So, okay, I'm going to say it's working out because that's what I'm supposed to do. And then, but I'm thinking to myself, what could be working out, right?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, isn't that how you would approach something like that? You'd say, well,
Right.
how could it be working out, right?
Yeah.
But do you realize that the moment that question comes to mind, how could it be working out? That you're already beginning to think of the solutions. You're already
That's it.
beginning to
Yeah.
elicit
Yeah.
ideas just because you were testing it.
Right.
See how cool that is? It can't help but work out. All you got to do is just try. You just got to say, hey, this, I'm supposed to say this is working out. And then when I do, I'm supposed to be able to start thinking of some ideas of how it's working out. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to say, okay, it's working out. And then all of a sudden, an idea comes to mind. You say, hey, it's kind of working already, right? It's like, whoa.
Right.
Because this is the thing. When you're thinking it's gone wrong, you can only think of gone wrong stuff.
Right.
You can't think of solutions from something that's gone wrong. You got to think it's going right in order to think of what the value is here. What's the benefit? How can this work out? Meaning is the source of reality. That's the counter. That's the you don't really think that meaning creates reality, but it does. It's not the facts.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who has the injection, he has stage 4 cancer and he gets an injection. What does that
Mm-hmm.
mean when he gets this injection? It means he's going to heal, right? And
Right.
so his stage 4 cancer is gone in 10 days, but the injection was water.
Right.
So if you look at the facts, and if you say reality is based on facts, then how is it that an injection of water cured him?
Right.
You can't explain that. Reality doesn't come from facts. Now, let's take a look at why people think it does. So
Yeah.
somebody gets in a car accident or something and they say, hey, this has gone wrong, and they can think of all the reasons why, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what happens? It turns out
Nothing.
they were right.
Right. Huh.
Because they're thinking it's gone wrong. What are they What's the meaning of that? They're eliciting the gone
Wrong
wrong.
thing.
So every time someone sees facts that on the surface looks like it might have gone wrong, they call it going wrong. Now they've given it meaning, which is what's going to create reality. So then the meaning of going wrong matches how they see the facts, and they say, see, the facts are this, and see, the reality matched it. It really was going bad. But the reason why it always matches it is because they say, hey, it's gone wrong. And guess what? It goes wrong. And they say, see, the facts create reality. And I say, no. The facts are the facts, but you gave the facts a meaning. You said it went wrong, and therefore it went wrong. So the facts didn't cause it to go wrong. It was your assessment of the facts that caused it to go wrong. So that's why people think that way. They think because every time they see something that on the surface looks like it's gone wrong, they call it going wrong, and then it does go wrong, and they say, see, I was right.
Yeah. Right.
But there isn't an independent reality in which something is wrong or right. There's no independent reality that says that when you get an injection of water, you're going to heal, nor is there an independent reality that says if you get an injection of water, you're not going to heal. It's whatever you make it, because there isn't anything already established. There's no basis. It can go either way.
But how long time you have to keep that? You have to sustain that knowing for this to become a reality.
Oh, it just starts you look at the transformational bell curve, and what happens is you have a couple experiences where you change the meaning, and then you look back on it in hindsight, and it looked like it turns out it worked out. You say, hey, that's pretty good. And then you try it some more, and it works again, right? Next thing you know, you're changing everything. You break a pencil, and you say, hey, that's okay, it's working out, right?
Yeah, because it's human nature to sabotage oneself.
Nope. No, it's not at all. It's not human nature at all. Not at all. It's just habit. And you say sabotage, but it's not sabotage. This is the thing. In school, when something was broken, what do they tell you? That's bad. It's gone wrong. Right? They didn't say, oh, what a wonderful opportunity to get a brand new one. They didn't say, what a great opportunity to get the new upgrade. They didn't say, what a great opportunity to go down to the store and see what else you need while you're there.
Yeah.
They say it's gone wrong. So people are just in a habit of calling things that break or get damaged or turn out differently than they wanted. They're in a habit of saying it went wrong. But just because it turned out differently than what you were expecting or what you wanted doesn't mean it's going wrong. It could be going really, really right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But since they always call it going wrong,
Yeah.
they always
Yeah.
get going wrong, and they think they've got it figured out. But they don't.
Okay.
Did you get the update on the placebo? The function of the placebo in reality creation?
I guess so, because I got the
Okay.
new one from Kindle, and I
Yeah.
downloaded it to my iPod. Yeah.
Okay, I want you to read that one.
Okay.
Not. It's not a CD. This is a written document. It's called an update on the function of the placebo and reality creation. So let me just go
Okay.
over it with you a little bit, because I want to show you how this works. The placebo is justification. It's only justification for belief. That's all a placebo is for. That's all it does, is give you reason, justification to believe something. That's it. That's all it does.
Okay.
But
Okay.
when you believe the something, right, whatever it is,
Right.
the belief is what elicits the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So let's explore this a little bit. Let's see how this definition works.
Okay.
This is going to give you some real good insight, because this explains the function of how reality is working. And you're going to love this. Okay, you ready? Okay, so
Okay.
the placebo is the justification for the belief that it's all it does, that's all it's about, that's all it means. It's the belief that elicits the outcome, and I'll show you how. So the guy gets this injection, right? And the doctor tells him that this is going to cure him. That gives him justification for belief that he's going to heal, doesn't it?
Correct.
Because the doctor said, this is miracle drug, right? And then he gets this injection, so he sees the miracle drug go in his body, so now he has reason to believe that he's going to heal. It's given him the justification for that belief, right?
Right.
So now that he has this justification, this is what happens. He's looking for an outcome now, isn't he? He's looking to see the sores go away. He's looking to feel better. He's looking for the healing outcome, is he not?
Right.
Okay. So this is the thing. When you're looking for an outcome, you're creating the 3 pillars of manifestation. Number 1, you say it's true. And by the way, as always, I'm going to send you a copy of this audio that we're recording right now, so that you can go over this. You don't have to worry about taking notes.
Great. Okay.
So first of all, it means it's true. Because if it wasn't true that he was going to heal, he wouldn't be looking for it, right? He wouldn't be expecting to feel getting better, right?
Right.
So number 1, the first pillar of manifestation is it's true. Powerful.
Okay.
The second pillar is that it's true for him. He's expecting it to work out for him, not for somebody else. You know, it works for them, but doesn't work for me. It's going to work for me. That's pillar number 2. So it's true, and it's going to work for me. But then here comes the most powerful one, and that's the third pillar, and that is it's happening now. Right now. Because he's looking to see the results of it right now. Not next week, next month, next year. He's looking to see something happening right now, right?
Right.
So when you believe something is true and it can happen for you and you're expecting it right now, that's that's powerful manifestation.
Right.
Powerful manifestation. So then let's look at another example. So there was a guy that in chapter 1, you probably saw it, the guy who had the throat cancer. The guy told him he was going to die. And so they did the operation, but he died anyway, right?
Correct.
So when they did the autopsy, they found that he had no throat cancer. That it turned out that the operation was actually successful.
Right.
The guy didn't have a reason to die. There's no reason he should have died. But let's take a look at the placebo effect, okay? So the doctor told him he was going to die. So that gives him, and they said that at that time the operations weren't successful, but it turned out that his was, right? He must have been like one of the first ones where they were really, were able to do this kind of procedure. So
Right.
the doctor told him that he could not be saved, that he was going to die, that 100% of the people who get this die. So
Mm-hmm.
that's justification for belief that he's going to die, isn't it?
Right.
So now he's got belief that he's going to die, and so that is the three pillars of manifestation. Number one, it's true. He's looking for the outcome. That means it's
Mm-hmm.
true. It's going to happen
Right.
for him, right? And it's happening
Right.
right now. So he died within a week,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no cancer.
No cancer. Right.
Okay?
Created his own reality.
So
Yeah.
let's take a look at another one. The arthritis operation, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the doctor performed a fake operation. He even
Mm-hmm.
made a little cut in the guy's knee,
Right.
so that and sewed it up, so it looked like he actually did a surgical procedure, but he didn't. So this is the thing: this big operation being wheeled into the operating room. There actually being a cut on his knee. And all this stuff going on. That's justification for belief that he had the operation, right?
Right.
And what does it mean when you get an arthritis operation? It means that the arthritis has now been removed. It's gone, right?
Right.
So here he has the placebo, the whole procedure, is the justification for belief that he no longer has arthritis in his knees. And so
Right.
now he's looking for the experience of that, right? He's expecting to be able to walk. He's expecting to feel good. He's expecting to be without pain. And sure enough, he is. But it's
Right.
not because there was an operation. That's the facts, because there was no operation,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but he
Yeah.
was looking for the outcome because it was true. He was looking. It was going to work for him because he's the one that had the operation, not somebody else. And he's expecting it right now because the arthritis is gone. So sure enough, 7 years later, they check with him. The guy's still arthritis free, and there was never an operation.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're
Yeah.
going to really start getting interesting because medical stuff, people accept, they understand placebos when it comes to medical procedures. But they don't really realize that placebo is not having to do with medicine, okay? So now let's take a look at something else. Have you ever heard of this tapping thing where people tap themselves on the head and say something?
Yeah,
And
ETS.
yeah, that kind of thing. Okay. So
Right.
the guy taps himself on the head a certain number of times and thinks or says some kind of certain phrase, and he's
Yes.
expecting an outcome, isn't he?
Right.
So because he did the procedure, that's justification for belief that he's going to get the outcome, right?
So it's nothing to do with the meridians that he's opening the meridians.
No, nothing to do with any of that.
So that tapping basically is a placebo? type of thing?
Yes,
Wow.
it's the same
never
thing
thought-
as getting an injection of water.
I never thought of it that way. It's
Yeah.
true.
So the guy believes he's going to have this outcome. So the three pillars of manifestation, he's looking for it, which means it's true, which means it can
Right.
happen for him, and which means it's happening now, right?
Right.
So you get the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now,
Yeah.
let's look at something else. How about a lucky item, right? A lucky ritual,
Okay.
right? So this
Okay.
guy's carrying this lucky item in his pocket, and that's going to make him lucky, right? Maybe he's a baseball player and he's going to get more hits or something, right?
Right.
So now he's got this lucky item in his pocket, which gives him justification for belief that he's now going to be lucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens? He gets a hit
Uh-huh.
because he's looking for the outcome. He's looking to be good. He's looking to hit the ball. He's looking for it to work. And it's the belief that he's lucky that he's going to get a hit that elicits his ability to get a hit,
Okay.
right?
So all those talismans and all those things work the same way.
All the same.
Mm,
Okay,
unbelievable.
now let's look at another one. So somebody is living a life and they say,
Yeah.
you know what? Things never work out for me, right?
Okay.
And then they point over at something that broke, or they show where they lost money on something, or they point over at this other kind of thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, all those things that happen, all that evidence, is justification for belief that things aren't working out for him, isn't it?
Right.
And so he's expecting that things aren't going to work out for him.
Okay.
And so what is he looking for? Something's going to happen, right? Something's not going to work out. So what is he going to get? He's going to get something not working out.
Yeah.
Right? Because reality proves itself. Whatever you're looking for and expecting to happen, it's going to happen. Whether you're expecting to live, whether you're expecting to be happy, whether you're expecting to die, whether you're expecting things to go wrong, or whether you're expecting things to go right. See how cool that is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we're going to go to another level. There's 7 billion people on the planet.
Okay.
Give or take some.
Okay.
And so some people are tapping themselves on the head, and guess what? They're getting a result, aren't they? Some people are on a fad diet that's supposed to do a certain thing, and guess what? It works for them. It's working out, right?
Okay.
Other people are saying that life is hard and it doesn't work out, and for them, it's hard and doesn't work out. Other people saying life is great and it works out, and for them, it works out, right? There's 7 billion people who have an idea of what reality is, and because they have an idea of what it is and how it's going to work, that's how it shows up for them. There's 7 billion people who have 7 billion ideas on exactly what reality is, and they're all correct.
They're all correct, yeah. They all have their own reality. Yeah.
See how cool that is?
Yeah, yeah.
So, where does that bring us? Well, that brings us to the point where somebody has had a string of events that they looked at. It looked like they'd gone wrong. And so they assessed it. They said, hey, these things have been going wrong. I haven't been making the money I want to, or having the love life I want to, or the success, or, the health, or whatever, right? And it hasn't been working out for me. So what is their point of view? Things don't work out, right?
Right.
And so what are they getting? Things not working out, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that perfect creation?
It is, absolutely.
But it's not because things aren't really working out. It's because they're listening them not to work out.
Okay.
So here I come along and I say, hey, the way you change this is you start saying that they're working out. I've got this magic injection. I got a magic item in my pocket. I'm tapping on my head. I got an operation. Whatever the thing is, it's working out. Now start looking for the working out. Expect it to work out. And you will begin to elicit it working out, because when you expected it not to work out, you elicited it not working out. But now that you're expecting it to work out, because this book tells you that it's going to, and then all of a sudden it does, you say, hey, now you got belief, right?
Right.
And now you've got a couple times you tried it and it's worked out. Now you're beginning to change your view that things can work out for you, which means now you're looking for the working out, which is actually eliciting the working out. You've shifted your reality to a new point of view, and you now have a new reality that you're creating.
And your consciousness goes higher too, right?
Yeah, the higher consciousness has to do with your understanding of how everything works. When you understand that you're creating a vibration by meaning, and that meaning is eliciting things to create a result for you based on that. When you're thinking about red cars, you look out in a parking lot and you see them. When you have that understanding, that's a higher consciousness. You get how the mechanism works. You see, a person with the lower consciousness, and it's not anything derogatory, it's just their level of understanding the mechanism, right?
Okay.
They have to take an aspirin to cure a headache, right?
Right.
But somebody with a higher consciousness and gets that it's just your thoughts of it, right? You could eat a piece of candy and say, for me, this is the aspirin and this is going to cure me. And guess what? It does. Because what? Because you're expecting the outcome now, right? And so you're going to elicit the outcome that you're expecting.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if a person that doesn't understand how all that works, there's no way you could give them a piece of candy and say, hey, this will cure your headache. They say, no way. How's that going to do it? Because they don't understand. They don't have the higher level of, they're not conscious of the mechanisms of the universe. But see, in chapter 9, he talks about faith and the reality go-round. That would be a very good chapter for you to review.
Okay, faith.
Yeah, faith and the reality go-round. So this person's having these experiences of things going wrong, right?
Yeah.
And so they say things go wrong for me, and they get things go wrong for me, right? And there's nothing. That's perfect creation. Not a thing wrong with that. That's just how it.
Right.
That's just how it should be. Because if we want to say things go right and then they do, then there has to be the same ability to say things go wrong and they do.
Yes.
So the thing about it is, you have the reality go round. The reality go round looks like this. On one hand, you have belief, right? And on the other hand, you have experience or evidence, right?
Yeah.
So when you believe things are going wrong, then you elicit evidence, and you see that they're going wrong, right?
Right.
And when you see that they're going wrong, you then believe that they're going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you believe they're going wrong, you create and you see more of the going wrong, which then makes you believe more of the... Do you see how it just circles around?
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah,
you got 7 billion people who have a repeating reality based on the reality go round.
Mm-hmm.
The way they see it, the way they think it is the way it shows up for them, so they say that's the way it is. And so they believe that's how it is, because they see that that's how it is, and that's how it always is. Right?
Yeah.
So how do you shift a reality from a reality go round that's based on things not working out to a reality go round that's based on things working out? How do you get that shift? The way you get the shift is with the word faith. Faith is extending belief before proof, before the evidence. So here you are, you're looking at a situation that you would normally say has gone wrong, right? Normally you would say that. But you're going to have a little faith, and you're going to say, it looks like it's gone wrong. It sure seems like it's gone wrong. But I'm going to believe it's gone right. I'm going to have a little faith that this is going to work. I'm going to say it's gone right. And so then all of a sudden some ideas come to mind. You say, hey, you know what? I really did want to go this other way. Or, I really did want to buy a new one of those, or whatever. And you say, wow, that's interesting, because it actually worked out. It did, in fact, work out. So now that it's worked out, it's not as much faith, because he's got a little bit of belief now, right?
Right.
Because it worked. So the next time you encounter a situation, you say, I'm looking at this situation, and I know if I think it's gone wrong, that it's going to be going wrong, and it's perfect creation. But I'm going to have a little faith, and I'm going to try this technique, and I'm going to say this is working out in some kind of way, even if I can't see right now, right? I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to have a little faith that this works this way. And sure enough, again, it turns out it was working out. It turns out that, yes, you made the wrong turn, but now you ended up in the place that you really wanted to be, right? Or something like that. And you say, wow, it really did work out, right? So now it's a little bit more belief, and pretty soon you got belief. But then you start changing a bunch more things, and now you have knowing. Look where your reality go round is now. Things are working out for me, and so that's what you believe, and guess what? That's what you see. That's what happens. And since you see it, you really believe it now, right? And then more things start working out, and next thing you know, your life is a joy.
Well, that's powerful, yeah.
Isn't that great?
That's in chapter 9, right? The reality of your life experience.
Yeah, the reality go round is that in faith that's an important thing, because that's the only way you can shift reality.
Yeah.
Now let's think about this. So this guy got this injection of water, right? He had to believe it would work for it to work, right? So he didn't have to use faith, because the doctor tricked him. You're not going to have people tricking you, walking up to you with your wrecked car and saying, hey, that's really good, or some kind of tricky way. You have to do it yourself. You have to say, hey, you know what, in some kind of way, this is working out, because I know from that place, I can see how. From that place, I can elicit the ideas what to do from here. That's working out ideas. From that place, I'm eliciting good outcomes outside of my ability to perceive. Because you see, yes, you may get an idea of how this can work out right away. That's fantastic. But this is the thing. That's just the tip of the iceberg. All the big stuff that's happening and manifesting is beyond your ability to perceive it. There's good things being elicited from this that you won't see yet for a week, for a month, for a year.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it's so good, and it works every time. Because is there an independent reality that says if somebody gets a shot with water, that all it will do is hydrate them? Just not, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Just an experiment here, just to show you. Tell me what the reality is of injecting somebody with water. What's the independent, universal, catch-all for everybody in the world reality of being injected with water?
That nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, that's what you would think, right?
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, you got this person who changed the meaning of it and said, when I get that injection, I'm going to be cured of stage 4 cancer, something we don't even have medicine for, right? And it works. So then you have to say, I guess that's not a standard reality, right?
Right. Yeah.
So there is no standard reality. Just because something's broken, there's no standard reality that says that's bad.
That's right, yeah. Absolutely.
It could be good. So then the question is, what's it going to be for you? And you've got the power to decide that. That's your God power. You can alter the reality of that. You can make water cure cancer. So if you can make water cure cancer, you can change a situation that on the surface doesn't look like it worked out into something that worked out. Because there is no standard reality that you have to adhere to. It's the reality you decide it is.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It is amazing. How do you figure out all these concepts, and how did it come to you? That so much truth.
I wasn't doing this to write a book. I was doing all this research for myself because I really, really wanted to know.
Yeah.
And so I gathered all these examples of people being cured and dogs getting up and going to the door when their owner half an hour away decides they're going home, and all of a sudden the dog gets up and goes to the door. How'd that happen, right?
Right.
The guy's thinking about burning the plant leaf and the plant freaks out. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I gathered all of this stuff together, and then as I was kind of going through it, a pattern began to emerge. Because how is it that tapping works for people? How is it that holding a lucky item in their pocket works for them? How is that related to somebody getting an injection? And all of a sudden, it began to clear up. I got clarity on it. That we're creating our own realities, and we've got the ability to change reality. But what is the key? It's not the facts. It's not the facts.
It's the meaning.
So, it's the meaning. It's the meaning. And it's not feelings. It's not feelings.
I thought before that it was feelings. When I was following the Hicks.
Abraham, yeah. They're my favorite gurus, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was feeling.
See, this is the thing. So somebody's tapping themselves on the head and they have the outcome, right? Yeah. And they say, isn't it reasonable that they would say something like, well, I tap myself on the head and I get the outcome, so that's got to be the source of it, right?
Right.
I mean, you can see where somebody would think that, right?
Right.
The guy has the lucky item in his pocket and he gets a home run, but the day he forgets the lucky item, now he's not expecting to be lucky, right? And then he's not lucky. He says, it's got to be the lucky item, right? But doesn't that make sense on the surface? I mean, it makes sense for anybody to draw that conclusion, right?
Yeah.
So when the guy is going to die with cancer, how does he feel about that? Feels really bad, right?
Bad. Absolutely.
But when the doctor says, I've got this miracle cure, and he gives him an injection, how does he feel about that now? He feels great, right?
Yeah.
Because he's going to live, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Feelings are being elicited from meanings in the same way as the outcomes are being elicited from meanings. Meaning's eliciting
Yeah.
the feeling of it, eliciting the reality of it, eliciting the outcome of it. So when you see the feeling, it gives you the indication of the meaning. Is it a good meaning or a bad meaning, right? So since that's true, doesn't it make sense that someone would say, oh, when you feel good, it's the feeling that makes it work out? In the same ways they would say it's the tapping that makes it work out, or it's the injection that makes it work out, or it's the lucky item that makes it work out. It makes sense for them to connect feelings with the outcome.
Right.
But see, the problem with that is if you're feeling, since feeling is a byproduct, it's hard to really control feelings. It's like, okay, so you feel good. But what does that tell you? What kind of detail can you get from you feel good? Nothing really, right? But if instead you go to the real source, which is meaning, what does this mean? This means I'm going to live. Do you realize that right away you've got some detail? You're going to live. You're going to see your grandchildren. It means, this. It means that, all that. Now you've got some real stuff. Real information, but the feel good is so vague and so fluffy, and it doesn't. So how are you going to change the feeling? It's so much easier to change the meaning because that's real stuff. That's real words. That's real things. What does it mean? It means it's going to work out. That means that we're not supposed to go this way, right? Not, oh, I feel good. Well, what does that mean? Well, I don't know. You get to the road you're supposed to get off on, right? And it's boarded up. It's closed, right? So you don't feel good, right? So now change the meaning. I mean, no. Change the feeling. Change the feeling to feel good. That's kind of hard, isn't it? But if you say, but if you know the real source code is meaning, then you would say, okay, so now let's go to the meaning. What does that mean? That means that we're supposed to be taking a different exit, right? Now that feels good, but you also know that you're going to be taking another exit. Do you see how much more information you got from the meaning that you can't get from the feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Much higher.
Yeah, because when you look at a byproduct, like you look at a little sore on your skin, yeah, you maybe has some kind of disease or some kind of allergy or some kind of problem, but that's just a byproduct of it, right? That's the same thing with feeling. It's just what's showing up, but it doesn't give you all the information. You want to get to the source of it. What caused that? You want to change the cause. You don't want to just doctor the symptom. You don't want to just doctor the feelings. You want to change the source of what generated that feeling.
Okay. Yeah.
So your knowing comes from the fact that you know that if somebody's thinking things have gone wrong, they're going to go wrong. Right? If they're thinking they got a miracle injection, they're going to get cured. If they're thinking they got a lucky item in the pocket, they're going to be lucky. They're going to be lucky.
Until they change their thinking,
so
their meaning.
To get to knowing that this is working, all you have to do is say, if all of that's true, then if I look at this situation and think it's working out, then by the same reason that all these other things happen, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get experience from it. So the answer is you go to faith, which means I'm going to believe it first. I'm going to try it, right? I'm gonna say that this is working out. That's all you got to do. And then you're going to see that it actually does. And then you're going to try it again, and you're going to say, doggone it, that's good. That worked again. And then pretty soon, it's going to be working for you so well that you're going to change the meaning on everything. You're not going to let anything go by that's not working out for you.
I'll practice this. I'll report to you. I'll do it for one whole week. I'll choose any subject. And I'll let you know.
Okay, that sounds good. You're gonna love it. I mean, I had a guy wrote me an email the other day. He said, "I just can't believe it. Your system works so well. Things have been getting better and better and better for me, and I can't explain it. They're just working out." Right?
Yeah. And Richard, how do I add, like, if I want to add like a comment it doesn't allow me to add an extra comment, right?
A comment. I'm not sure what you mean by a comment.
Like I want to write something that I like this program. I did, but it says that you only allow one review, I think.
You can add to it.
Oh, I'll go to
Yeah,
add
yeah.
it. Okay, that's good.
You can write more on it. You can change around a little bit. What I've seen some people do is that they have a review, right? And then later, a week later, a month later, a year later, whatever, they come back and they put underneath it, update, right? And then they write some more information.
Okay.
It's really working, or
Yeah.
So you can do that.
Yeah, because because this material really has to be known for more people. To tell you the truth, this is amazing. What I do every day that I go jogging and everything, I have my iPod, I download the audiobook, and I keep listening. And every time I listen more, the more I know something else is new to me.
Exactly. And even if you've listened to the same thing before, you notice something different.
Absolutely, yeah. I see a different way. Yeah.
So the thing is your whole world that you perceive is based on what you believe about it, right? Remember? Because whatever somebody's thinking about the world is what they see, so that's reality for them, right? So what's happening for you is when you read it through the first time, or you listen to it through the first time, you're viewing the material or hearing the material from where you are. And certain parts of the material get through because you can see that from where you are. But then where you are changes a little bit because you have a better understanding. And now when you listen to it, you see different things. You hear different things than you did before. And each time you listen to it, you're going to be in a better and better and better place, and you're going to get more and more and more from it.
How long time it takes an average a person to kind of assimilate to a certain degree? Or this is an no-ending type of growing that you keep
It's an upward spiral that is unstoppable and never ends. Because this is the thing, remember when we were talking about the placebo effect, people seeing the situation as going wrong, that's how they always look at those kinds of situations, and that's how those situations always are, right? But now let's take a look at somebody who's now changing it and saying, no, it's working out in some kind of way, even if I can't see right now, it's going to be fine. We'll just do something different, no problem. And then next thing you know, it works out, and then they do that again, and it works out. And pretty soon, things that are showing up are already working out when they show up. And then you have fewer and fewer things that you need to change. But importantly is this. Have you decided that once and for all and forevermore that things are going to always be working out for you? You're always going to look at things like they're working out? Always? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
You promise?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Okay, so now what you're telling me is, for the rest of your life, everything works out for you. Now, what kind of life is that?
Regardless. The best life.
That's pretty good, isn't it? And that will become true. So, can you see how there's no end to the upward getting better spiral? If every time something comes up, it turns out it's working out? And then again it's working out, and again it's working out, and again it's working out, and it's getting better and better and better and better. It's you wake up one morning and you feel like life is a joy. It's the greatest thing. You're so happy to be alive. Everything is so wonderful. Everybody's so wonderful. Everything's working out for you. You have everything you ever wanted, and you're living the life of your dreams.
Well, everybody was searching for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you see, the way you get there is you shift your reality, because otherwise, your reality go round is always going to be repeating where you are. But now that you have the secret, now that you know how to shift your reality by believing instead that it's working out, then your reality moves over, and now it's beginning to repeat the working out. And it moves over again, and it begins to repeat everything working out. And pretty soon your life is a joy, and it's just repeating itself as joy. You're always seeing things that are wonderful. You're always getting things that are wonderful. You believe that it's wonderful, so everything else becomes wonderful some more, and it just keeps getting better.
That's wonderful concept.
Would you mind if I use this recording? This was a very good one to put on a CD, because I think people could get a lot of value out of this one.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Go ahead. Okay, I'll review those and we'll keep in touch.
Fantastic. All right, my friend.
Thanks a million for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right,
Good
bye.
night. Okay. Bye-bye.
That was the last track on this coaching call, Excerpt CD. The How to Use Your God Power Master's course is available in PDF, Amazon Kindle, paperback, and audiobook. You may also watch the entire course on YouTube. Send your questions and comments by email to yourgodpower@gmail.com. Let your quest for knowing continue. Now switching to the special video options menu and activating the video selection buttons. Click on your selection number to start watching the video. "15 seconds till we switch to the next page with the free download information. Pause the video now if you need more time to review the available selections." This is the end of this course video. Its video number is listed above. To watch the next video, simply click on the next video in number sequence. Thank you.